on, y'all? Welcome back to the chaos. I'm Ryan, and we're actually going to be testing the 2022 Rav4, some of the performance features on this vehicle. So we've got Slam here. It's her car. So she's been so gracious to give me the keys today, but I'm curious. I have several vehicles, but none of them have the different modes. So this vehicle has, it's the eco mode, normal, I guess, normal driving mode, and then like a sport mode. I want to see, does it actually make a difference? So if you put it in eco mode, does it affect your performance? And if you actually put it in sport mode, does it increase your performance? Like, does it actually do anything? So that's what we're going to be testing. So I know on some cars, it actually will like stiffen up the suspension, change like the transmission tuning, make it shift firmer. But with like a little Econo box, like our Rav4, I don't know that it does anything. We're gonna head out to Mexico, and we've actually got the Draggy, which is a performance meter. So it will measure, we're gonna be testing a 0 to 30, 0 to 60 today, because quarter mile probably takes too long for this thing, but we wanna do like real world examples. So 0 to 60, you pull out in front of somebody and you're like, oh crap, I need to hit the gas and boogie, get out the way. We wanna see, does it matter? If you're in eco mode, are you screwed? Are you gonna get rear-ended? Or if you put it in sport, are you gonna be able to fly out the way and be safe? So we're getting a little scientific today. So we're gonna be testing those three modes. So under the hood of this beast, it's the Toyota XLE, and it has the 4-cylinder, 2.5 liters of Fury. So this is the all gasoline motor. So this is not the hybrid. So as you can see, we got the 3 different modes. So we're actually gonna start out in eco mode and then work our way towards sport. And the reason I'm gonna start with the eco mode is in case the engine gets like heat soaked, we should be better off going towards the sport mode, because if sport mode truly does anything, even with the heat soak of the motor, because we're going to do these tests back to back, so even with the heat soak of the motor, sport should be able to keep up and exceed the eco mode. My prediction is each one of these modes is going to do jack squat. I think they're going to go like be so comparable that it wouldn't matter what mode you're driving in if you're under full load, full acceleration. Slam, what's your prediction?
So I'm thinking, I don't know about all of them, but I think in some of the modes it's gonna be a little bit more, there's gonna be less pickup in some of the modes. So like eco mode, I feel like we're gonna be a little bit laggy, but yeah, the other two I'm really curious about to see how comparable they are.
And this is actually the first time I've driven this vehicle, so Samantha actually has like the butt dyno, so she's driven around in all the different modes. So can you actually tell a difference?
So I actually usually just keep it in eco mode. I don't know that I've really yet to use sport mode with it, but between eco mode and econo mode, no, that's the same thing. Eco mode and normal, you can tell a difference, at least in that initial like flooring it.
So we're gonna put that to the test because I'm a skeptic. All of our tests today, we're actually gonna be using the same road in Mexico and under the same conditions. So we're gonna have the auto start stop kind of deal. We're gonna have that off. We're gonna have all of the electronics off, as well as like your AC off. So therefore there shouldn't be any difference, like we're running one with AC on versus another pool with it off. But so everything should be identical conditions. Then we're actually going to be doing 3 passes because I want to get consistent data. So we'll do 3 passes 0 to 60 with eco mode, 3 passes with normal, and 3 passes in sport, and then we'll compile all our data and see what our average is. So we've made it to our testing strip, and like I said, we're going to use the same road to conduct all our tests, so that way everything's consistent, that we have pretty much like a controlled variable for these tests. But we'll go ahead and turn all the electronics off and then the AC off, and then we'll start out in eco mode. So test 1, eco mode, everything's off, screen's off, AC's off. This is the way that we're gonna be rerunning all the tests. Run 1, eco mode. First test done, that was eco mode. Now, like I said, we're gonna do it 2 more times. The first one felt sluggish. I'm actually left foot braking, so I've got my left foot firmly on the brake and then just smashing the gas to go. And with the draggy, it actually doesn't start measuring until like when they do like the official like times for magazines and stuff like that. They give you like a little rollout period. Draggy doesn't do that. As soon as you start going, it starts testing. So here we go, round 2, eco mode. Round 2, eco mode. Round 2 felt a little better. Not saying it's fast by any means, but I think we did better the second time. And like I said, that's why we want to do it 3 times to get a good average. Last and final round in eco mode. Final round 3, eco mode. All right, I'm glad to be done with econo mode. Now we're switching to normal, see if this makes a difference. So we're sitting in eco mode. We're gonna hit the button to switch it over to normal. Eco goes away, now we're ready to test. Here goes our first test in normal mode. Round 1, normal mode. Okay, I might be eating my words. I actually kind of did feel like with my butt dyno telling me, seemed a little quicker. We're still very sluggish at the initial punch, but once it gets rolling, I feel like it has a little more pick up and go to it. So could just be in my head, but 2 more rounds and we'll see. Here we go for round 2 in normal mode. Round 2, normal mode. Still think that first hit on normal mode felt the fastest, but again, that's why we're doing 3 hits on each, just to give it a fair shot. So here comes our final one on normal, then we get to switch over to sport mode. Final round, normal mode. The part I've been waiting for, about to hit sport mode. So this, if anything is actually going to make a difference, this one should be it. So let's try first mode, round 1. Round 1, sport mode. That was our first hit in sport mode. I'll be honest, the only difference I really felt between sport and normal was the visual of the red dash. So there's like a red gauge that turns on and lights the background red that says sport. Other than that, she felt the same. Again, this is why we're doing 3 hits, just so that way we can compile the data and see what we got. Because maybe, you know, I don't feel a difference, but numbers don't lie, so we'll see how it goes. But this is gonna be round 2 for sport mode. Round 2, sport mode. That was round 2. Still didn't really feel too much of a difference. Let's go round 3. Final round, sport mode. Now that we made all our test passes, we'll go home and actually throw all the data together and see what we come up with. But honestly, I mean, there's a touch difference, I feel like, at least the mental or physical feel of it, between eco mode and normal and sport, but not enough difference that I noticed. What do you think as a passenger, Slam?
Definitely you can tell a difference between the normal and eco, but as a passenger, the sport mode didn't feel any different really than the normal mode.
And I know this isn't a performance car, but again, that's why we were doing the test, just because I was curious to see, like, do these modes make a difference? Because again, in some cars, they kind of tighten up suspension, maybe let you rev out a little higher, change the transmission settings to make it shift a little firmer. But this car, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious though how it turns out. The results are in. I've crunched the numbers, and in fact, I actually double checked to make sure my math was correct. But I want to say I'm shocked, but from the get-go, I was kind of a skeptic, and for good reason. Eco mode doesn't really seem to be much different in the sport mode. In fact, out of everything, Eco was the fastest. Looking at the numbers, yeah, across the board, averaging out, economy mode won. So it was very, very close. That's why I honestly don't think, at least under load, I don't think those modes actually do anything. So you're better off for the fuel economy and everything, just leave your car in eco mode. I want to give sport mode a fair shakedown. So like I said, I think there was a little bit of heat soak in the motor. So we've actually come home, I've done the math, I'm slow at that, so it's had plenty of time for the car to cool down. But we're actually going to take off again, head back to our test location, and give sport mode like a true, hopefully fair test, where we haven't run the car into the ground with so many back-to-back hot laps. But want to give sport mode a fighting try. So let's see what it does. Little bonus round. Bonus round, sport mode. I mean, it feels like it should be a little faster, but it might just be the illusion of the red gauges is making me hyped up, and just, I don't know. Maybe I just want it so badly to be faster, but we'll see. Numbers, like I said, numbers don't lie. We'll take it home and see what the results are. Letting the car cool down did prove to be effective a little bit, so we actually netted our best 0 to 60 time. I was a skeptic from the get-go, but I really did want to prove myself wrong. But unfortunately, if you have a RAV4, just throw it in eco mode, because none of those other modes actually matter. You get the same exact acceleration with eco as you do sport. I really appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.